Yahushai. Basic, but what I'm doing here is 2 different languages. 3 actually. English, Paleo Hebrew, and the Aramaic, or the modern Hebrew. See, so we ain't no dummies up here. We ain't no dummies. And I'm gonna leave that up here for a little bit.
So it says, Nadad Manyanyan Shatan Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem
Wakakudash.
Bahashem. So if you want to try to overcome temptation, this is what it says back in Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 2. Because verse 1 said, if thou come to serve Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, prepare thy soul for temptation, set thy heart aright, and constantly endure.
Constantly endure. Constantly, that means all the time. So this is Matthew 4 and 7. Yahweh Shai said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy power. You want to get Deuteronomy 6 and 16. And again, Yahweh Shai deflects him with the scripture. See, you got to fight the scriptures with scripture, man. That's the sword, right? That's the weapon of choice for a real man. Anybody could get a gun. Anybody could get a knife. But not everybody can get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Ba'Hashem Rakah Kudash.
This is a special thing by you getting the spirit.
And Deuteronomy 6 and 16. Hey, because this is spiritual, man. Hey, when a snake bites you, you have to kill that snake and take the poison, so you can get the antidote. So you being bit by Satan represents being beguiled. So now he used the word to beguile you. So now you got to use the word as an anti-venom.
Okay. This is Deuteronomy 6 and 16. Ye shall not tempt Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai your power, as ye tempted him in Massa.
Because you were tempting him because you were talking shit. Like, when we gonna, how come you took us out of Egypt just to kill us out here? You should have just killed us in Egypt. If that was his intention, he would have done so. Hey man, the Lord doesn't need you to make excuses for him. So right now, Satan and Yahushai are having a little discussion, and that happens all the time. Okay? And then how it happens is the men of the Lord are standing up here. You so-called Christians get upset. You want to come up here and talk your smack, but you're using the way you understand the scriptures in a misunderstanding way to tempt us. Every time G-Man goes up to any camp, he's using the scriptures to tempt the brothers. Vocab Malone does the same thing. He uses the scriptures to tempt brothers. But you're not tempting just any old chump. You're tempting the men of the Lord, which we're not gonna be tempted so easy. And that's just the way of saying things. I hope and Lord will, I don't get tempted at all. I'm doing good so far. But what about that day when the RFID chip comes? That's another temptation. That's the hour of temptation.
Yep.
That's the hour. You want to continue on that next Deuteronomy?
Deuteronomy 6 and 17. Ye shall diligently keep the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai your power.
Once again, diligently, all the time.
Because It says diligently because it's not an easy thing to keep the Most High's commandments here in Babylon.
Yeah, because one day you can't be a straight man, and then the next day you forsake the law, and then you fornicate with the man. You have sex with the man. You fornicate with that woman of that philosophy of homosexuality is okay. But the scripture strictly forbids.
The scripture says that when the wicked is when the wicked is in power, that the righteous mourn. You know? And we're the righteous mourning out here because the wicked is in power.
And if you don't believe that the wicked is in power, the wicked is trying to get that space fleet going. This is go ahead.
So it says, ye shall diligently keep the commandments of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua your power, and his testimonies, and his statutes, which he hath commanded thee.
So a testimony would be when Elisha, I don't know if it was Elisha or Elisha, but the prophet that said, if I be a man of the Lord to the captain with 50 men, may fire from heaven come down. That's a testimony because that really happened. It happened 2 times. It was going to happen the third, but the third time, you know, the captain and 50 men learned their lesson. He was like, please, can you come with us? Like they got it, man. Okay, let's see. We're going to get Revelation, where were we at?
I'll go back in Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 2. Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Make thy heart right and constantly endure in the time of trouble. Hey, so this is trouble, man. We're in trouble right now. We're in big trouble right now.
Because it says, make not haste, meaning not to be all panicky, not to panic, but have patience when you're dealing with this.
And that and that also means if the Lord isn't coming on your time, don't get stressed out, man, because your time means nothing to Him.
That's right, because you're not on your time. We're on the Lord's time. You know?
That's right, we're on the Lord's time.
And people keep saying, you know, when's the Lord coming? And
don't worry, He's gonna come right on time. All these prophecies have to be fulfilled, man. All of these prophecies have to be fulfilled. And they're happening so fast, they're happening right away, that if you don't believe He's coming back, then why do you have a Bible? Why do you call yourself so-called believing in Jesus? Because if you believe in Jesus, you believe in everything's okay. Everything is going to happen that's being prophesied right now. Right?
So it says, and make not haste in time of trouble. Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
And this is the last end, and we're being increased with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the times that are here, the times that are coming, and the times that are going to come.
So you want to cleave unto him and depart not away, so that you could be increased.
Hey, and that's what we should have done in Egypt. We should have been like, Lord, I know we were taking us to the right place. But you know what happens? When the brother was talking about cancer, let's say in the population, let's say when we're leaving Egypt. Okay, let's say we were leaving Egypt, and when we were leaving, there was 10 people. There was 10 people, right? And 2 of them got dismayed. They were like, these 2 were talking shit oh, the Lord isn't coming. Next thing you know, these two hear it, and then like, now 4 people are saying, the Lord isn't coming. So 5 people are like that. Now, before you know it, 8 people are like that, and there's only 2 people left to be saved. That's what's going on right now. These are the cancerous cells that we got to get rid of.
Because our wickedness is increasing. So if you're in the situation of being tempted with this wickedness, it says, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 4, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
That means, let's say you had a job before you came into the truth. It was a good job. You got paid a good amount. Let's say you got paid $3,000. You were living okay a month. You got $3,000 a month. You're living all right. You can afford whatever you're paying, whatever bills you have. Now you came into the truth. You're being tested and punished, and you lose that job. So what does that mean? Does that mean you can only go back to work if you get a job that pays you the same? No, you're being tested. So now you're working. Now you have to get your ass to see if you're humble. Get a job at Burger King. That's what it means.
Cause say you heard this truth, and then you're in it for a little bit, and then, like the brother said, you have a good job, but then you get fired, and then you're like, hold on, this truth is not helping me out. So you go back into the world, you know, but that's not being patient, and that's not cleaving unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushai.
Because if you were, go ahead.
Because it says, the next verse, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Kind of like what the brother was saying, like it's all like that picture. There's 10 men, but only 2 will be saved. That's like that fire that's gonna come.
Hey, and you know what? What's infectious? Doubt is infectious. Faith is not infectious. Faith is it's something that you're already born with. Because if you can get contaminated with doubt, you never had faith. That's like you put an application for this job after you got fired and you're in the truth, and you keep praying for it, and then it doesn't happen right away, and you just stop praying, and then you're like, man, well, forget this. You know, I'm not going to be in the truth anymore. You know, that's what happened in Egypt. It takes time for the prayers to be answered. And this is St. Matthew 4:8. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them. And he said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. That's the temptation, man. You can have your job back if you worship me. You can have all this kingdom. You can have everything. You hear how that bell tolled again? That's the temptation, man.
And it's like what's happening with these movie stars and these rappers. You know, they're getting tempted with the desires of this world. You know,
wicked desires, man.
Yep. Because just like the devil said, he'll give you everything. You know, and you'll be sitting high. And
Like,
that's how these rappers, movie stars, everybody in Hollywood, that's how they are right now.
just think about Michael Jackson. He made that song Billie Jean. What kind of a girl names herself Billie? He wasn't talking about no Billie woman Jean. He was talking about a little boy named Billie.
Yeah.
He said, Michael Jackson said, Billie Jean is not my lover. And then he fucking lied and said, she's just the one that says she's just a girl that says I was the one. You were talking about a fucking boy.
Talking about a child.
And then what he meant by she just says that I was the one, talking about sexual assault accusations, pedophilia. They were accusing you of being a child molester.
Because it says, the kid is not my son, right?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's fucked up. And a kid is something you sacrifice. But you Christians know everything. You so-called Christians know everything. That's not what I was taught by my pastor. Pastor Bobby says I can do whatever I want.
Yep.
I don't want to learn the truth.
Damn.
Because I have to give up so many things. Because you got to get tried, man. Yahweh Shai had to give up. Man, when he was Solomon, he had to give up everything once he did give up everything, because when he was King Solomon, when Yahweh Shai was King Solomon, he started getting with these other nation women. And then as he was getting older, he would start following their ways, raising up statues for doing wicked shit.
Because when you're committing sin, it's like you're in a jail cell, but the door is open, right? You got a chance to leave, but you don't want to leave.
Hey, and you have a chance to leave, but the way to leave is so hard to get out of. And that's the truth. You got to start obeying the laws. So really the doors are still open, but you don't want to go through that door because you're afraid.
Yeah, because it feels so comfortable in there. You know, it feels so comfortable in that cell. You know, you got your bed, you got, you could eat, you could go to the bathroom, whatever. You got just enough just to get by, you know, but in the end, it's not going to be worth it.
And the scripture says that man doesn't live by bread and you know, water alone.
Yeah. So, you know, when you go into the church, it feels comfortable how the pastor's talking to you. You know, how you're comfortable all inside that church. Everybody's singing.
Air conditioning's on.
That vibe, you know.
And the pastor's wife has a shortcut dress and showing the cleavage. And you're sitting down and she's all, "How you doing, brother?" Showing you the cleavage, man. House of wickedness, man.
That's shit.
Winking at you.
That's temptation right there.
That's wicked temptation, man.
Damn.
So this is Matthew 4:10. Then saith Yahweh Shai unto him, "Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, thy power." You had to gotta worship Yahweh Shai to get to Yahweh.
Damn. So he's even telling the devil, you got to worship Yahweh Shai, to worship Yahweh, because he's the one that controls everything. He controls the devil.
Yeah, and I'll read it again how it says the words. Then said Yahweh Shai unto him, "Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship Yahweh thy power, and him only shalt thou serve." But I told you to worship Yahweh Shai because you can't worship Yahweh. You got to go through Yahweh Shai first.
Because Yahweh did the blueprint, and then Yahweh Shai made everything happen. He's controlling all the streams.
You want to get Deuteronomy 6:13? And once again, they're battling with the scriptures.
This is Deuteronomy 6:13. Thou shalt fear Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai thy power, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name.
Damn. So, how did you swear by his name? Oh man, Yahweh, he got us out of Egypt. Like Yahweh got me a job. Yahweh got me food to eat. Yahweh's taking care of me. And this is Deuteronomy 10:20. Thou shalt fear Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, thy Elohim. Him shalt thou serve, and him shalt thou cleave and swear by his name. You got to swear by his name, man. Because Jesus isn't the name. Jesus didn't get me out of any situations. In fact, when I was under Jesus, I was doing the breaking the most laws. When I was worshiping that devil. Go ahead.
Back in Deuteronomy 6:13, thou shalt fear Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai thy power, and serve him, and shalt swear by his name. Ye shall not go after other gods.
What's another god? The homosexual god. Mars. All these other gods, Zeus and shit. And Jesus is another god. Because Jesus and Yahweh Shai are total opposites.
Yeah.
Total opposites, man.
They're different people. Yeah.
Different spirits.
Ye shall not go after other gods of the people which are round about you.
Hey, so don't get into wickedness. Follow the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities. Fight temptation on a daily and diligent way, and then this will happen. St. Matthew 4:11. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. That's all you got to do.
Because last week we spoke about the wheat and
The tear.
the wheat and the tares. So this is Luke 8:15. So this is Luke 8:13. They on the rock are they, which when they hear, receive the word with joy, and these have no root, which for a while believe, and in time of temptation fall away. So you hear this truth, and you might believe it for a little bit, but then you start going back into the world and start hearing other false words.
Yeah, I got this to back up, brother, right here. This is Romans 3:3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Because just because you don't believe that the harshness and the reality of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai doesn't make it true, doesn't make it untrue. Because it is true. It is true, man. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is the real name. They're so-called dark-skinned men, Negroes with big froze. Those are the way that the Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai looks. So-called Negroes. This is the next verse on 4. Yahweh forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written. Thou mightiest be justified in thy sayings, and the mightiest and mightest overcome thou art when thou art judged. Let me read that again. Yahweh forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. All you got to do is try. Live by the sayings, which is his word.
Just go by the scriptures and talk about the scriptures.
Basically, that's living the word. Because in Egypt, when we were in Egypt, we were still praying to Yahweh. And in Babylon, we were still praying. In every captivity, we were still praying to Yahweh. Up until recently, in this last captivity, and I would say probably for like 500 years, we didn't know the name. Up until recently, then we started getting the name, then we started praying again to the name.
Alright, this is just for some inspiration, to try to overcome temptation. It's Proverbs 29:16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fall.
Yeah. So we're gonna witness this devil getting beat down, man. Because the righteous doesn't mean everybody that goes to Christian churches. That you just think you're righteous because you follow blindly, which is the same way as following wickedly. You follow blindly without investigating in the Holy Scriptures. You don't ever stop to say, oh, is that true? You don't ever stop to investigate what words are being used in the scripture?
Come on, it says the righteous shall see their fall. So the people in the churches, I don't see them as righteous because they're committing transgression. And the only people I see standing up for righteousness and trying not to transgress the law are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
Which are in the truth. Because you have Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are in these churches too, and they're not even trying. Okay, so I got this scripture to back up the brother right here. Romans 3:22. Even the righteousness of Yahweh, which is by faith of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, unto all and upon all them that believe, for there is no difference. So that means that you could be a so-called confusion of face, have white skin, and still believe in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. There is no difference between a Judite and a so-called brother that's light-skinned, a confusion of face, a so-called Gentile, because we both believe in the same thing. All right. The next verse, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of Yahweh. All have sinned. So all Israel has sinned. Now let's talk about who can sin. Does that mean a homosexual can sin? He's already living in wickedness. He's a wicked. There's a son of the Most High. There's the sons of the power, which are Yasharallah, Israelites, and there's sons of the wicked, which is the Edomites, and then the sons of men, which is the other nations.
This is back in Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. Gold is tried in the fire, and so that chapter 2 verse 5, gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So right there, acceptable men. So the acceptable men, it's talking about the Most High's elect, because they're the ones who are going to be tried by fire, but they're going to be passed through the fire.
Yeah, this is Romans 3:24. Being justified freely by His grace through the redemption that is in Yahweh Shai Mashiach. That's the grace. Okay, that's the grace. Is you believe in Yahweh Shai Mashiach. Because we're all sinners. And we're about to close it up because it's getting dark. You know. So if you got any last scriptures. I got this last one. Go ahead, get a scripture right quick, whatever which one is fits, and then I'll close it out with this scripture.
Alright, this is
That's James.
This is James 4:7. It says, submit yourselves therefore to the Most High, resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
Yeah, but you gotta resist through the scriptures, man. How was Yahweh Shai resisting spiritual saying? This whole time we were talking about it. With the scriptures. Hey, Yahweh Shai could have called the angels and been like, fuck this motherfucker up. But he showed it through the scriptures. Alright? So I'm gonna close it out with this. This is Romans 3:31. Do we then make void the law through faith? Yahweh forbid. Yea, we establish the law. And with that, we're going to say, Kal halayim la Yahweh ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, ba'Hashem Rakak Kudash. Till the next time, we say Shalom.